So welcome, Kendra, to the counseling office. My name is Mrs. Smith, and I'm the school counselor. I just want to share with you a little bit about confidentiality, and whatever we share in here stays in here unless you're being heard or someone else is being heard. So, okay with you? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I see you have your permission form. Excellent, thank you. So I thought that we should get to know each other first before we get started. So, as I said, my name is Mrs. Smith, and I'm the school counselor. I've been in education for about 18 years. I've worked for, I think, about 15 years as a sixth grade teacher, and a couple more years as an instructional coach, helping other teachers with their instructional strategies. I have 2 children, a daughter your age, and a boy who's 20, 2 cats, and a husband. And do you have cats?
I have 2 cats too.
You have 2 cats too? Oh. And I like to exercise and I like to run and spend time with my family. Yeah. It's pretty much so me. Don't get a lot of time. I like to read, but I don't get a lot of time to read because I'm indoors. Yeah. So you also have 2 cats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about me? No? What about you? Tell me about you.
I don't want to exercise.
You don't like to exercise?
I'm a cheerleader at high school, and I've been cheering since 7th grade. I like to play the piano, and I'm going to be a sophomore for this year. And I have 3 brothers, and I'm the only girl.
And you have 3 brothers and you're the only girl. Wow, 3 brothers. You're outnumbered, huh? Yeah. And you said you're a cheerleader in high school. Have you always cheered for school?
No, I cheered for a private place and
Oh, good. And you play the piano? Tell me about that.
well, I don't take lessons, but I like to go on YouTube and look up songs and find them.
Wow, well, you must catch on really easy if you're teaching yourself piano.
Yeah.
Well, and then you're cheering, so you must, you have to memorize the dances. You must have a really good memory. Oh, good, very good. Is there any questions you have about me? Is there anything else you think I should know about you before we get started? Anything you think I need to know about you before we get started? No? Okay. So you filled out the slip in the library and put it in the counselor's box to request the session. Why don't you tell me about why you requested this session? Some friend problems. Tell me about your friend problems.
I have this friend and she's very
Clingy and possessive. Can you describe what that looks like?
She gets jealous when I know different people and she always keeps me along.
So you hang out with other people and she's texting you a lot. What is a lot?
Probably
15 to 20 times a day. And do you respond 15 to 20 times a day?
I don't respond all the time because I'm usually busy, but I will respond, yes.
So if you're busy, do you say, hey, I'm busy, can't chat right now? Then what does she do?
Sometimes she understands it, and sometimes she makes me feel bad about not replying to her.
And so when you're with other people and you tell her, I can't chat right now, I'm with other people, or do you say you're with other people? Yeah.
Sometimes she knows the first ones.
Okay. And then what does she do? Is she okay with it, or?
She gets jealous, and sometimes she'll text me with her friends and ask to hang out with them, and then she knows that.
Do you feel like that's kind of a setup? Like a trap a little bit? Interesting. Okay. Have you ever dealt with this before? No. You know anyone that's ever dealt with this? Does she do this to other people too, or just you?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
With some of my other friends.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So you have this friend, and she's kind of clingy and jealous, and wants to hang out often, and texts you quite often. I think you said 15 to 20 times a day. And when you're with other people and you say, I can't chat, I'm busy, and maybe she knows that you're with someone else, maybe she continues to text you, and sometimes she texts your friends, and they kind of almost almost set the trap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How does all that make you feel?
Very frustrated and annoyed.
Frustrated and annoyed. Do you ever feel guilty that you're not hanging out with her too? Okay. So tell me about any strategies you've tried to solving this problem.
Well, I tried avoiding her.
You tried avoiding her. And so what happened when you tried avoiding her?
Well, she usually just kind of
Found a way back into your life or the situation?
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't work out so well. And how did you end up feeling about that when that happened?
Kind of guilty.
Kind of guilty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Frustrated sometimes.
You got so guilty you feel frustrated too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can understand that. And what happens when you feel so guilty and get frustrated?
Well, I sometimes I get mad and then I'll just text her how I feel in front of her suddenly.
You have like a sudden confrontation? But you said it was via text?
Yes.
Okay. And how does that work out?
Not so good.
Not so good? What ends up happening?
Well, I would tell her how I feel, and like it's annoying when she texts me and like it's jealous when I'm with other people, and then she just rationalizes.
She just like tries to make excuses for herself and her actions and her behavior. Okay, so you tried avoiding her, but it didn't work. You then felt guilty about it, and she found her way back into your life. You feel guilty, then you feel so guilty, you're frustrated, and then you kind of explode or kind of blow up at her via text,
Yes.
angry emoji faces.
Very much.
And then she sort of rationalizes her behavior,
Mm-hmm.
and then you feel guilty again.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
neither of those solutions were actually solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of anything else, but maybe you haven't tried it?
Well, maybe like confronting her and having a conversation face to face.
So having a face-to-face conversation about it?
Mhm.
Not a confrontation, but like a conversation about
Yeah.
it? Yeah. And how come you haven't tried that?
Because I really don't want to ruin my friendship because I'm afraid that I might hurt her feelings or something.
So you obviously care about her.
Mm-hmm.
Even though she frustrates you, you obviously still care about her. And you still want to be her friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the goal then in having this conversation would be what? So that she
Well, I want her to understand how I feel.
understands how you feel.
And maybe when I tell her how I feel, that she would stop doing it. And I definitely still want to stay friends.
And you want to stay friends. Okay, that's good. So you've thought about having this conversation. Have you thought about what you would say so that you could achieve the goal of her understanding and stopping and still being friends?
Well, I could say something like maybe, I love you, but you really frustrate me when you text me a lot when I'm with friends and get jealous.
And do you think that would be enough? So you tell her you love her, but then you're telling her, that you're frustrated. Have you ever hung out with someone so much and then you get on each other's nerves?
Sometimes that happens a lot.
It happens? Okay, good. What if you explain that to her? What could she say?
If we hang out all the time, like, we usually get on each other's nerves, so we should probably take a break sometimes.
Okay. So I'm thinking that if you're telling her you love her and explain how it's frustrating when she texts you all the time, but you value the relationship and you don't want to hang out all the time, but sometimes so that you don't get each other's nerves, I think that might help you achieve your goal. Do you want to pretend that I am your friend and you practice having that conversation with me? Yeah? Okay. What would you say to me?
I really love you, but it frustrates me sometimes when you always text me and it gets really annoying because usually I'm with friends or I'm busy, and then you get jealous when I'm hanging out with other people because I don't hang out with you. get on each other's nerves when we hang out so much that maybe it'll be better if we take some breaks sometimes and not hang out so much.
So Kendra, I'm thinking that you had a very kind tone to you when you said that, and if I am your friend, and again, you're saying you love me and you value our relationship, you don't hang out all the time, but you still want to hang out so that, we don't get on each other's nerves. I'm thinking that I would understand. Do you think your friend will understand?
Well, I really hope so.
You hope so. Do you think you might want to try having this conversation with your friend?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
And see how it goes.
Do you think you could do that this week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Do you think you could do that this week, have that conversation, see how it goes? Would you like to meet next week and talk about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You think you might want to continue to practice that until you have that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay, so we'll meet next week and we'll talk about how it goes. And in the meantime, you're going to kind of practice what you're going to say to her.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need anything, I am here. But otherwise, I'll see you next week and we'll talk about how it went.
Can you help me go over what I'm going to say? Because I
Sure.
feel like I should.
Want to try it again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So I'm your friend, and your goal is that we said that you want your friend to stop doing what she's doing,
Mm-hmm.
that she's going to understand how you feel, and that you're going to still have the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what were the things we were going to say to her?
That one, she frustrates me and I get very annoyed when she texts me a lot. Two, she usually gets jealous when I'm with other friends, which I don't think she should because she hangs out with her friends and I don't get jealous.
Oh, that's an interesting piece.
Mhm.
Okay.
And if we hang out so much that we usually get on each other's nerves.
Do you want some time?
So yeah, I need some time and space to hang out with other friends without her being socialized.
So Kendra, the last time we pretended when we role played a few minutes ago, you started by saying something. Do you remember what you started by saying?
I love you.
Yeah. So when we have conversations with people, it's always nice to start with a positive,
Mm-hmm.
I love you, and then, work on what it is that we achieve our goal.
Mm-hmm.
I get frustrated when you text me a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and then we end with a positive, which is, I want to spend time with you.
Mm-hmm. And
I still want to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
I just want some space that when we're together and spend time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a sandwich. You're positive, and then what you want to work on, and then a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you think your friend's going to respond? What do you think she's going to say back to you? Or what could she say? What are the possible?
Well, she could either understand
Mhm.
or she could turn it on me like it was my fault.
And you have evidence of her doing that sometimes. So
Mhm.
that's a definite fear of yours.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard you say something that was very interesting that you hadn't said until now. And that was, you hang out with other people. So you've got actual evidence to support, your claim as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then if she is going to kind of try to rationalize it and make excuses for her behavior again, but you can say, wait a minute, it's okay when you do it.
Yeah.
It needs to be okay when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Could you try saying that to her too?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a good plan. So remember the sandwich,
Mhm.
positive, and then what we want to work on, and then a positive. And then if she continues to kind of rationalize and make excuses for her behavior,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to say, pull out your evidence,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Like a lawyer, here's our evidence. I'm okay with when you do this. I need for you to be okay when I do this. What do you think? Think that might work?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have that conversation this week?
Yes.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Is there any other questions? Do you think you feel pretty confident?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I think. Do you think we solved your, do you think we achieved our session goal when I said find a possible solution?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm thinking that if you approach the sandwich, you're going to have a really good, you'll have a good chance at a positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, Kendra, again, thank you for coming in today.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need anything between now and your conversation with your friend, or now until our next meeting, my door is always open to you. And then just continue practicing that. Because the more we practice what we're going to say, then, and what someone else might say back to us, like we did, then we have a better chance of being prepared and feeling kind of confident and feeling sure of ourselves, and maybe a little less guilty. Yeah. It was lovely meeting you today.
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah, you are so welcome. And I will see you next week, and I look forward to hearing what the outcome is. Thank you.